Do you ever find yourself having those moments, or maybe it's just a couple of days, where you're feeling that high of just getting stuff done? Well, what if you could pinpoint those exact days and know when you could leverage that energy? Well, in today's part of the Living Astrology Out Loud series, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that as we continue our journey through the Mercury retrograde cycle. All right, so in the last couple of parts of this series, I shared with you my journey through this current phase of the Mercury cycle, which is the power period if you have Mercury natally retrograde. And I'll talk a little bit in the comments about what if you have Mercury not natally retrograde, blah, blah, English. I can talk today in your chart. So what is this? There's actually a point in the power period where it is considered like the peak of the energy. And that happens to be occurring this week at the time of recording this video. That peak occurs on March 12th. And so, but don't worry, if you missed this one, there's multiples of these throughout the year, at least 2 more, if not 3, depending on the year and the timing of it. So this is that period I like to call the riding high period. And the most important thing that I'm always reminding myself at this point is to task wisely, because you can get so much in the energy of possibility. You can also get to the point where you're taking on too much without realizing it. So what do you do so you don't overdo? Because as entrepreneurs, it's very easy to overdo, right? We get all of these amazing ideas. And when Mercury is fired up like this, our mind is really sharp and it's really able to task well. But that doesn't mean we're meant to multitask. I find personally, it's best to create the focus. So I'm focused on what's truly going to move the meter, aka connect me with more amazing soul clients. So even though I've got the energy to be able to knock out a long task list, I know that if I do that and I push through and don't take breaks, I'm going to burn out this fuse sooner rather than later, which is not the best way to make good use of this energy. So literally, I keep my daily doing list. So it fits on one of these handy dandy little Post-it notes. There's 3 things that I'm giving my attention to first to ensure I'm moving the meter. And right now it's one project at a time. I've got an event coming up, so it's making sure that all of the pieces are ready for that event so that I can invite those potential clients in and make sure that I'm ready to do so, and all the assets that go along with it. That's enough of a project for now, but the pieces I'm putting in place that go along with it, I'm looking at the big picture and what will serve me long term so that I can really take advantage of the energy of the focus I have at this point during Mercury. It's kind of like this, surge in that mental energy that we're getting, but it's so important that we channel that energy strategically. So when you're in that extra mental power period, what are the things that you do to keep yourself focused? I'd love to know. Pop them in the chat. And if you want to take this theory out for a ride yourself, I highly recommend you practice this idea of doing, tasking wisely. So finding those projects that you know are going to move the meter in your business, put that up at the top of the to-do list so you can really utilize this energy when Mercury is at its peak. And you'll also know, as we come into the next phase, which I'll talk about in the next series, part of the series, how to navigate it when it slows down a bit. So if you are just tuning in and this is the first video in the series, this is part 3. So grab the parts 1 and 2 and catch up on the series. We're talking all about how to leverage the power of astrology, and in this case, specifically navigating these larger Mercury cycles, because Mercury is more than just about retrogrades. All right, I am Sherry Moyse, your Moonside Astrologer, Intuitive Business Mentor, and here to help you simplify your marketing and planning as you use the cosmos as a guidance system. All right, and I will see you all in the next video.